your movement is so powerful, it crashed Grindr again, right? Just like the RNC did last year, right? That's how powerful their movement is, guys. This is another fact about their movement, is every time their movement goes to a city, it crashes Grindr, because most of them are closeted gays. Here's Newsom. He's going hard.
We are struggling to communicate. We're struggling to win back now the majority in the House of Representatives, and that's a big part of what I'm doing, not just today in terms of the work out here, raising money, but also raising awareness around how Donald Trump is trying to rig the midterm elections and how I fear that we will not have an election in 2028. I really mean that in the core of my soul, unless we wake up to the code red, what's happening in this country.
I mean, dude, I don't want to start any crazy like fear-mongering oh shit, but I will say this. If we don't win the House in 2026, I'm probably going to move to the Canary Islands. I shit you not. If we don't win the House in 2026, we got to seriously consider our options, because we're going to end up in a Christian Taliban dictatorship, guys. I mean, you know, not to be crazy, I know I make fun of this shit, but I posted this shit today, dude, that I think is pretty fucking accurate, boss. Turning Point USA and the Heritage Foundation, the Trump evangelicals, people like Ryan Walters, superintendent in Oklahoma, they want the USA to be just like Iran, but Christian, okay? They want a Christian Taliban, white, male-dominated, biblical, okay? Worship the right-wing icons and Jesus and all that shit in schools, okay? And we are... like, we've been at war, I feel like, for 20 years, especially on the state level, but we are at war, not like a gun pew-pew war, but a war for whether we're going to have a government that forces us all to live under scripture and oppresses us if we refuse to, or have a government that is a secular government that allows everybody to have their own religion or their own belief system and not be punished for it, okay? And we are close, guys. I mean, we have to wake up. Look at that Charlie Kirk rally, guys. Look at that rally, bro. Look at this shit. Hold on. You ready? Let me just show you. Dude, look at this shit. This is the fucking rally they had, guys. They had people walking around with a cross on their goddamn shoulders, and it was filled with white people. Praise Jesus. Every word in there was Jesus, Jesus, we're taking back the country, the power of God. Like, this is the real deal, guys. You are going to be forced to eat a fucking Bible, right? You're going to be forced to stick your dick in a Bible if we don't fucking put this down, like, real fast. Okay? It is hard. I mean, it sucks, guys. And again, I have no problem with people being religious. You want to be a Christian, you want to worship Jesus, you're a Catholic, you want to be a Muslim, you want to be a Hindu, I don't care. Whatever you want to do, I am all for it. But when we have like 100,000 people getting into a space declaring like all this Jesus-y shit and saying they're going to take over the government and they're going to force us all to fucking carry their crosses around, that's when we have to put the foot down, guys. Okay? You know what I'm saying? This is like, we can't do this shit. All right? I'm not living in a country where we are forced to live under a fucking religious text. Period. Okay? It is, and it's getting crazy, guys. I mean, they're Christian in name and deed, right? They wear a cross. I mean, they're as much Christian as some shit eater who takes his hat off at the baseball game and thinks he's a patriot, even though he disparages everything about the diverse country that is America, and he doesn't vote to make America better. right? He, in fact, may have not have voted at all for most of his life, but he takes his hat off at a baseball game, and therefore he thinks he's a patriot. He hangs a flag in his fucking backyard, and all of a sudden he's Joe Patriot. I mean, it's just tokenism. These guys are token Christians, but they're like, they are getting real big for their britches, as my mom used to say. Okay? They are getting emboldened, and they are getting to the point of, you know, even this Ryan Walters guy. Look at this guy, dude. This guy is the superintendent of schools. Okay? Look at this guy. Superintendent of schools in Oklahoma. He already hired 𝗙ecie from Libs of TikTok to be on the Oklahoma school board. He tried to put Trump Bibles in every fucking classroom. He was watching porn, had naked women on his office while he was having a parent meeting. And look at what he says. He's partnering with 𝗙PUSA to put 𝗙PUSA chapters in every high school. Radical leftist teachers unions have dominated classrooms for far too long. They're going to try and overthrow the teachers unions with Turning Point USA.
I'm excited to announce today that every Oklahoma high school will have a Turning Point USA chapter. We have seen the outpouring from parents, teachers, and students that want to be engaged in the meaningful work going on at Turning Point. They want their young people to be engaged in a process that understands free speech, open engagement, dialogue about American greatness, a dialogue around American values. We're so excited about
American values, guys. That American values, that means Bible right up your fucking ass is what it means.
Turning Point USA with this initiative. For far too long, we have seen radical leftists with the teachers union dominate classrooms and push woke indoctrination on our kids.
Woke indoctrination. Woke indoctrination! Oh, the kids are nice to the gays!
They fight parents' rights. They push parents out of the classroom. And they lie to our kids about American history.
Oh, they lie. They lie to our kids about American history. Dude, I want to slap this guy's face with like a fucking a dead fish, bro. You know what I'm saying? There are some people, I'm not a violent guy, but I do want to take like a dead fucking salmon and just swing it at this clown, bro. Right across the face, bro. Right in the kisser.
What we're going to continue to do is make sure that our kids understand American greatness, engage in civic dialogue, and have that open discussion. We will continue to do all that we can.
Have that open discussion. That's like, Jesus, up your ass. More Jesus. We're going to put 2 Jesus dildos right up your behind, sonny. And then after we done that, after you take them Jesus dildos, we're gonna have Trump come over and touch your sister, right?
To make sure Oklahoma students have the best education possible.
Dude, Oklahoma, by the way, all right, let's just for reference, Oklahoma's ranks 50th, right? They're gonna make sure Oklahoma has the best education possible. 50th, bro. They rank 50th, dude. This guy is like, how are you going to fix your education? Bible. But that's what's so dangerous, though, guys. They're the bottom of education, and they're going to pump them full of Bible. That's the worst thing you can do. Pumping ignorant, uneducated people with the Bible? Dude, that is bad news, bro. That is some bad fucking news, boss. Jesus. Congratulations on being number 50. Dude, he is so problematic. Dude, look at this. You got to see this. This is very important, dude. Benny Johnson. You know how we love Benny Johnson. Okay? So Benny Johnson today made a big announcement. All right? And no, it wasn't that he's coming out of the closet. Okay, so what it is, though, is Benny Johnson is fake Christian. Benny is, Russian money. Okay, Benny, multiple instances of plagiarism, been fired from multiple jobs for plagiarism, for being dishonest. This guy is now one of the chief voices for Trumpism and MAGA. And what's more, Benny is like a miniature Charlie Kirk. He is a content creator for 8 to 10-year-old boys. Okay, he is trying to make political content that will begin the early grooming and early indoctrination of young boys to be misogynist, to be racist, to be anti-trans and anti-LGBTQ. And he does it by making political content with like political people's heads on cartoon bodies and shit like that. He is a super groomer. Okay, absolutely. That is a great word. But look what he says here. He says, don't miss how historic this was. Charlie's memorial, right, was the largest apostolic, right, event in human history. He's calling it an apostolic event. The president and his entire cabinet shared their faith in Jesus Christ to 100 million. Now, of course, he's stretching the numbers, whatever, they're trying to include online shit, but he's calling this an apostolic event. When, dude, Trump was talking about the tariffs, this was not a religious event, but I mean, that's what they're doing, guys. They're creating their campaign rallies as now they are like Jesus events. They are prophet events. They are apostles of Christ. I mean, they're fucking whacked out, okay? And they're trying to say 100 million with the online views or whatever, okay? They're grossly exaggerating this, but we know they lie, okay? We know they lie. But look what he says. He says, our movement is powerful, okay? Our movement is powerful, he says. Let's go save America, but look at them guys. There's the guy with the cross. They're like, praise Jesus. Dude, these people are freaks. They are freaks, guys. They're trying to create like a biblical army of like Jesus freaks. Okay? Now, I did comment to Benny. But now, guys, the MAGA rally and the Jesus freak evangelical set are like fusing. Okay, they're fusing. They're becoming one and the same, guys. They are. They're becoming one and the same, where now they have fully fused the evangelical replacement theory, religious, like white male-dominated biblical society is fully fused with MAGA. If you look in that crowd, it is all white people and all white people that will subjugate the power of society to the man. Okay, and they're fine with authoritarianism. It's literally written into the Bible. They don't care if there's a dictator as long as he's using the Bible as the law. Okay, a Bible-led dictatorial society, they're all for it. They want it. They want a dictator that wields the Bible like an iron hand. Okay, this is fucking crazy. Now, here's what I said. I said your movement is so powerful, it crashed Grindr again. Right? Just like the RNC did last year. All right? That's how powerful their movement is, guys. This is another fact about their movement, is every time their movement goes to a city, it crashes Grindr, because most of them are closeted gays. Okay? Most of them are living the same goddamn life that everybody they're attacking is. They're just filled with shame and they're fucking hiding this shit. Like Benny Johnson himself. His wife just recently blocked me because I told the truth about, like, dude, you cry in the hotel bar every time you go to a TPUS event, while Benny is like shagging the TPUSA guys. Everybody knows this, dude. She got mad. She blocked me. But dude, this is crazy. September 21st, a massive Grindr blowout, and look where it was localized. in Phoenix, boss. Right? Dude, isn't that crazy? That is crazy, guys. These guys are fucking outrageous. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.